When Francis says, I prepared one of my sonnets, it means I've prepared 15 different sonnets. It's not the same sonnet every year with slightly different rhymes, although that might be an idea. What I do is what they call a Shakespearean sonnet, which, as you know, is a 14-line poem with 10 syllables in each line that rhymes A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. I'm a bit of light relief within the intellectual white heat and kind of nuanced tension of the evening. The rhymes are so obvious that you may feel free to murmur them along with me and feel free to tap along on your fingers with the syllables. Anything to do with Scunthorpe is fine by me. I've been to Scunthorpe many times and I love Scunthorpe very much, and this is Art Westcliff. Iron in the soul here, iron and steel. There's a narrative arc here, tales to tell, of how thinking hard makes the future clear, of how dreaming hard makes a place feel well. Community can be hard to define. Here's an example of what makes it tick. Simple things really. People truly shine talking to each other. This isn't slick marketing or plans imposed from above. This is a building that always gives back. This is a building that's built on the love people have for the arc. Always on track to make something special, light in the dark. In life's storms and floods, climb on board the ark. What a great gag that is at the end. Mayfield Park contains one of my favourite words, the word palimpsest. I love the word palimpsest, which is a layering of things. A wonderful word, palimpsest. I use it as often as I can. And Mayfield Park, I'll be there tomorrow because I'm visiting my son over in Manchester. We'll have a wander around. It's such a great place, Mayfield Park. There's a word for this place, it's palimpsest. Histories piled up layer on layer. Stories invented, they gather interest, then they all get retold with northwestern flair. The story of the old streets and the park. The story of the river and the trees. The story of the bird life after dark. The story of the strolling in the breeze. Here are the changes that are so profound. They change how you think just what change can be. As new life springs up from old urban ground, just as far as the Mayfield eye can see, shifts in perception as the Medlock flows. This remade place is right under your nose. My dad was a Lowland Scot and he liked Aberdeen, but he'd always say a phrase that I couldn't fathom. He'd go, "Aye, Aberdeen, it gets under your bonnet." I don't understand it either. But he used to say that, he used to say it to me, I don't know why. But it does get under your bonnet, doesn't it? It does. Take some much loved gardens and restore them, and then people will love them so much more. Folks who've never been here can explore them. Those who know them well can watch them soar. These gardens are a gateway to the soul. These gardens are a guidebook for the mind. And Union Terrace Gardens make you whole with every view and vista that you find. Here's what you call the practical sublime. Clean statues and no toilets centre stage. The flower beds and cafes seem to rhyme. The tales these gardens tell can fill a page and fill a mind and fill a heart and soul. Let's celebrate this place that helps us grow. I thank you. What I love about the Academy of Urbanism Awards is they're always much more civilised than the Builders Awards I did in Wakefield, where you had to give out awards for the best small extension, and whatever happened, it always came on with Simply the Best by Tina Turner. Whatever was given out, whether they won or not, it was always Simply the Best. And he said, don't bother with the poems because they'll all start fighting anyway. But this is much more fun. Church Street in Stoke Newington, I realised I've used the word sublime again like I did in one of the other poems, but I like that word as well, as much as palimpsest. And a lot of these places are sublime anyway. And I've been to Clissold Park, which is at one end of Church Street. What a great park that is. Look, there's a butterfly flying along Church Street from one end right to the other. Its wings are the verses of this long song that sings of the things we can discover on Church Street. So many stories to tell, past meeting present, chrysalis to wings, breakfast to buy and fresh coffee to smell. The varied delights that Clissold Park brings, the butterfly settles, then moves again. So many places to see and take in, and so many links in Church Street's long chain. This street never ends, it seems to begin over and over. A rhythm, a rhyme, city transcendent and urban sublime. I've got to say the word transcendent, another one of my favourites, which often appears. Old York Road, Wandsworth. A single step is where the journey starts, as you take your time and time takes you down Old York Road. So many beating hearts make up a living street, and this is true. Being part of this place means walking it from end to end through eating and drinking and stopping and looking and talking it up. This street built on old and new thinking about what a community can be, built on interaction, meeting all those who make up Old York Road's family tree, homemade utopia. Follow your nose to something close to the centre of things, to where authenticity's great bell rings. This couplet at the end is always a bit of a hostage to fortune. It kind of sneaks up on you a bit too early, I've found. You won't get this with Simon Armitage, would you? You wouldn't get it. Not the stuff between the poems. Particularly the couplet at the end of this poem, you'll groan, but it was one of those ones where you're writing the poem and you wish the place was called something else because it would be easier to rhyme. I don't want to let lighting on magic, but I'm afraid that's right. Urban tapestry with a golden stitch, a living space where everyone just meets everyone else. Just two words, Strand Aldwych, speaking volumes of how you take the streets and give them back to those who need them most. The walkers, the talkers, shakers of hands. Life's a ceremony, streets are the host, and a place like Strand Aldwych understands change is possible and really vital if a city space is to breathe and thrive. And yes, Strand Aldwych deserves the title of place where it's splendid to be alive. I've lots of rhymes in the palm of my hand, if only they'd called it Aldwych Strand. These really are three impressive and inspiring sites, and I've been to Chelmsford a few times, and once many years ago I went and this terrible thing happened where I'd been commissioned to write a poem for a librarian who had retired, but it turned out she hadn't actually retired, but I hadn't got the message. So as I approached the venue with a framed poem under my arm, librarians burst from the library trying to send me back to the station, forced me back, and I could see the librarian there who I thought had retired and she hadn't. So I read the poem anyway. So there you go. People think I make these anecdotes up, but they're all true. I wish they weren't true. Bewley. Wake up now and open the curtains wide. This is a place where you can find yourself, a fine combination. Inside, outside, not hidden away in nowhere's top shelf. Streets made for people and homes built for those who put down roots because they want to stay. Here, in this space, you can bloom like a rose. Here, simple things. Places to play and places to shop, the places to meet and places for learning, all that you need, all that you want to make life complete. Everything here makes you want to succeed. Two words fill this poem. One's here, one's place. They go together in Bewley's embrace. Graylingwell, this one of the poems, another poem has got utopia in it, but it's not this one, it's the next one. I keep using the word utopia. I'm a bit of a utopianist, and these evenings make me feel even more utopian than I was before. I'm glad I don't have to do the dystopian awards. I got asked, but I turned it down. You know. Graylingwell. Sometimes there is more before than after. Sometimes we spend our days just looking back. Here, they've made things change because they have to. A way of thinking that takes up the slack of regeneration, makes it tighter, builds a place that illuminates the day, so Graylingwell shines out, builds things brighter. Because here's a place that has a lot to say. Community is built from these places where people meet and sing and play and dance. Open minds can thrive in welcome spaces that make you feel like you can take a chance on your own future, where there's tales to tell of how the world could be, like Graylingwell. I do love these last couplets at the end. We've got certain je ne sais quoi, as they say in Scunthorpe. This is Portloop in Birmingham, which I've visited and walked around. I like Birmingham, it's one of my favourite. There's a great Birmingham poet called Roy Fisher, the late Roy Fisher. One of his great lines was, "Birmingham's what I think with." And that's such a wonderful line. That's what this place does. Birmingham, it thinks with Birmingham. This is life on the island of Portloop, the pupil in the eye of the canals. A place that gives you time to sit, regroup, a space to boost your happiness, morale, and what's that word I'm looking for? Ah yes, well-being, wellness down this deep Brum well. What's that feeling? The feeling of the stress. You're looking better here, your mates can tell. Some places let the canals drain away, some smother them with litter, let them die. Well, with Portloop, I really have to say, ideas can show, our city can fly. Utopia is a thing we all can hold at Portloop, where that promise gleams like gold. I thank you. The three sonnets sounds like a band, doesn't it? A band that you never want to hear. No, Bath. I'm glad there's no R in Bath. I knew there wasn't. I've got 4 grandchildren, and Isla is my granddaughter. I've got 3 grandsons, and Isla, she's 8. And she's the arty one. I think one day, in many years to come, she might be sat here in this crowd. And she always asks me what I'm up to. And I said, I'm going to the Academy of Urbanism tonight to give out some awards. And she said, will there be parsley? I said, I don't know. She said, might there be basil? And I said, I don't know. And she thought I meant urbanism. I'd like to keep it as that, wouldn't you? Urbanism. Again, a true anecdote. I wish I was making these anecdotes. But one day she'll be sitting here. She'll be doing that. This place knows what it was, is, and will be. This World Heritage Site looks to the light of the future, far as the eye can see, and sees a Bath sunrise that's burning bright with the optimism thinking can bring, with a glass half full that will never spill. This is the song Bath is eager to sing, of learning and changing, drinking your fill, of architects' plans that leap from the screen, dreams that take shape in Bath's wide open mind. The city moves forward from where it's been. Here comes a strapline, Bath's one of a kind, over the crescent, a crescent moon still, lights up the promise this city fulfills. Sometimes you think of the couplet first, and put it in, then make the rest of the poem move towards it, which is what happened there. Lewis. I've always wanted to get the word zest into a poem, and I've managed it. I can retire a happy man. I did say to my wife, I'm moving towards retirement, and she said, retire from what? That's a good point. We need a place to live, and a place to work, and a place to feel that we all belong. This is a town with so much to give, where the community is broad and deep and strong. The future is flying over the downs and landing here, then building a nest. You can see the results. Just look round. He's promised the word. He's modern. He's zest. Yes, all of the above. Just join the ride as the townscape shifts and it meets the needs of localness, resilience and pride. Plans meet practicality. Words meet deeds. The answer when you're stuck, what to do is get yourself on the train, come to Louise. And then you write report. Shrewsbury. My wife and I, 45 years ago, had our honeymoon in Aston-on-Clun, not far from Shrewsbury. And we went on the second day of our honeymoon to a string quartet recital in Shrewsbury. And my wife said, will we have to go to many of these? I said, we might. We've married 45 years. I recommend Aston-on-Clun, which is a nice place, and Shrewsbury is a lovely place. Think of the 7 as Shrewsbury's mind, moving through the town like a bright idea. Gaze into the water, see what you find, as the sunlight's turning a liquid clear. The art of reinvention, shape shifting, as riverside potential is fulfilled, and the streets perfect. The art of drifting from shop to shop, an old place to new build. Change is like a river. It has to flow and alter the place it is moving through. And like a river, it just has to go through all weathers, all seasons, showing you Shrewsbury's future, long as the 7. Welcome to this place, this splash of heaven. You could spot that rhyme coming a mile, couldn't you? There you go. Bristol. I've been to Bristol many times. I was once on a train going to Bristol, and a man said to me, where are you going? I said, Bristol. And he said, this is true, he said, I've been there 19 times. I said, I said, that's very precise. He said, yes, it is. I've been more than 19 times, but he'd been 19 times. Perhaps he was an assessor from the Academy of Urbanism. I don't know. And when I was writing this, just by coincidence, I was sat in my house in Barnsley and there was a full moon. I thought I will include that somewhere in the poem. A sense of arrival and belonging and something in the air that holds you tight. A huge full moon in the wide sky hanging, lighting up a city that feels just right, but right for who? For where? Let's make a list of fresh-faced young'uns and those who stayed, because if they left, there'd be something they missed. This place is more than just a long parade of shining newness and good intentions. Those things don't keep. This place is made to last and built to thrive on the reinventions of Bristol, where the ambition is vast. Stand a moment, feel the cleansing power. Bristol unfolding like a flower. It always strikes me that Bristol has such vast intentions and vast ambitions. It always does. Helsinki. Mention renewal. Dream of potential. Think of the way these concepts are timeless. Change like this is truly existential, and the product is an endless process. Here's where local becomes universal. Helsinki, a byword for urban change. In the squares, the parks, count up and total all the ways a city can rearrange the way it sees itself. History's light will shine on this place that made things happen, that took the ideas and wrapped them tight, then unwrapped them. A landscape of hoping, opening. Here is Helsinki unfurled, a shape-shifting, confident, northern world. And then Reggio Emilia, I mean, a sonnet, of course, is Italian in origin. It means little song, because it's got that kind of song vibe to it. So, and I recently translated The Barber of Seville, the well-known Italian opera, into Yorkshire dialect, just to see if the long Italian operatic note could be done in the flat Yorkshire vowel. And let me tell you, it was a bit of a strain. My soprano had to have inhaler several times, but in the end it seemed to work. This is a little song. You know, a sonnet is a little song. You know, in Reggio Emilia, where the future beckons, the past is long and change is accepted, familiar. So this is a little song to a place built to a tune of participation, a city that chose to truly embrace that tomorrow's train leaves from the station they call today. So walk through the cloisters and hear the plain song innovation brings. A new way of thinking truly fosters a city in flux. And this sonnet sings in praise of conjoining content and thought. Ideas can be missed, but here they are caught.